If your VW Audi screen is freezing, rebooting, throwing SOS errors, or refusing to connect to CarPlay, there's a very good chance the problem isn't the infotainment unit at all. And that matters because a lot of owners end up chasing expensive head unit faults when the real issue is simply misdiagnosed or completely overlooked. In this video, I'll show you why low battery voltage causes these exact infotainment faults, how to quickly tell if your issue is power related instead of a failed head unit, and the simple checks you can do before you spend money on the wrong fix. Let me tell you something we see all the time. A car comes in and a screen is frozen, or maybe it's rebooting, or it has SOS error on the dash, or a CarPlay is not connecting. The owner is already convinced it's the head unit, and sometimes he's already been quoted for a full system replacement. But then we check one thing first, the battery voltage, and suddenly everything starts to make sense, because what looks like a complex infotainment fault is actually the car reacting to unstable power. Now here's the bit most people don't realize. Across the UK, a huge percentage of cars are driving around with weakened 12-volt batteries. It's one of the most common issues on the road, and it's the #1 cause of breakdowns. At the same time, infotainment systems are the most fault-prone part of modern cars. Screens, connectivity, software, this is where most complaints come from. So you've got two things happening at once: the most failure-prone component in the car and the most voltage-sensitive system in the car. Put those together and you get exactly what a lot of people experience: screens freezing, system rebooting, warning popping up, and all looks like infotainment problems. But a lot of the time, it isn't. It's the car struggling with unstable voltage. So the real question is, why does low voltage cause all these weird specific faults in the first place? Alright, so let's break this down simply. Modern cars are designed to prioritize one thing above everything else: starting the engine. So when voltage starts to drop, the car has to make decisions. And the first things to get cut, limited, are the non-essential systems. And right at the top of that list is your infotainment system. Now this is where it gets interesting, because infotainment isn't just a screen, it's a control module responsible for many settings in the car these days, and it's networked into multiple systems across your car. And all of that relies on stable voltage. Not just enough to turn on, but stable. So when the battery starts weakening in your car or the voltage starts fluctuating, you don't always get a clean failure. You get glitches, you get screen freezes or system lagging, random reboots, sound issues, CarPlay connectivity issues, Android Auto connectivity issues or dropping out, SOS or emergency call errors appearing. And here's the key to things to understand. Those faults look exactly like software issues or hardware failures, but they're not. They what happens when the system isn't getting consistent power. And that's why this catches so many people out. Because nothing looks obviously dead, it just behaves strangely. So naturally, you assume something inside the system has failed, but in reality, the system is reacting, not failing. And that leads straight into the real problem, why this gets misdiagnosed so often. Now here's where things go wrong for most people, because the symptoms don't point towards the battery, they point you somewhere completely different. First problem, these faults look expensive. You see a frozen screen and you think my infotainment system probably is failing. Or you lose connectivity, you think it might be some software glitches. Or you get an SNS error and it feels serious. Nothing about it says battery. Second problem, it's inconsistent. One day everything works fine, the next day it doesn't. Then it works again. That kind of behavior makes it feel like a glitch, not a power issue. And that's exactly how people describe it. It's intermittent, it comes and goes, it fixes itself. But that's exactly what unstable voltage looks like. It's not a clean failure, it fluctuates. Third problem, and this is a big one, a lot of the time, basic electrical checks just aren't done first. People jumping straight to scanning for faults, replacing parts, updating software, before checking the one thing that everything depends on, the power supply. So you end up in the situation where the faults looks complex, the behavior is inconsistent, and the diagnosis skips the simplest course. Which is why so many people end up chasing the wrong fix. So if it's not random, what actually triggers it? There are two main factors, and they almost always show up together. The first one is temperature. As soon as it gets colder, your battery has to work harder. It needs significantly more power just to start the engine, while at the same time, its efficiency actually drops. So you got less performance and higher demand. On top of that, the car itself is using more power. You've got heated seats, heated screens, heating in the car, blowing a warm air in the cabin, lights. Everything is drawing more from your battery. So even a battery that felt fine the day before suddenly isn't coping as well. Now layer in the second factor, age. Most car batteries last around 4 to 5 years. And a lot of vehicles on the road are already past that point. So what you end up with is this, an aging battery going into colder conditions with higher electrical demand. That combination creates unstable voltage, and that is the important part. The car doesn't just suddenly fail to start. Before that happens, the electronics start to behave strangely. That's why so many people notice infotainment issues first, because it's often the earliest warning sign that the battery isn't healthy anymore. And that leads to a really important shift in how you think about this. Now, this is the part that catches most people out, because their assumption is simple. If the car starts, the battery must be fine. But that's not actually how it works. Starting the engine doesn't require perfectly stable voltage. It just needs enough power to crank the engine. Infotainment, on the other hand, is far more sensitive. It needs clean, consistent voltage to operate properly. So what happens is this. The battery starts weaken, voltage becomes unstable, and the first system to complain are the electronics, not the engine. That's why you can have a car that starts perfectly fine, but the screen, your infotainment screen is freezing, the system is rebooting or lagging, and you get warnings that are appearing on the dash. And it feels like those things are unrelated, but they're not. They're actually an early warning sign. In a lot of cases, the infotainment system isn't the problem, it's the messenger. It's telling you the power supply isn't stable anymore. And if you ignore that, the next step isn't more glitches, it's the car not starting at all. So by the time you see infotainment issues, the battery is often already on its way out. Which brings us to the something important, how this plays out in real situations, because this isn't theory. You see the same pattern again and again. One of the examples with an Audi S4 that came after a flat battery and a jump start. Straight after that, the infotainment system started failing. Screen had issues, not all the functions were working properly. And at the first glance, it looked like something has been damaged. But what actually happened is the system has been hit with unstable voltage, spikes, drops, inconsistent power, and the modules don't like it. So instead of cleanly failing, they start behaving unpredictably. Another example we also had, which was a Volkswagen Golf that had a battery replaced, but there was an SNS error that wouldn't go away. The battery was new, so it should have been fine, right? Not quite. Modern Volkswagen Group vehicles need a battery to be correctly coded and adapted to the car. If that doesn't happen, you can end up with persistent faults even though the hardware is fine. So again, it looks like an infotainment or system fault, but the root cause is still power related. Third example, even on the newer vehicles, including EVs, there have been recalls linked to a 12-volt systems. Not the high voltage battery that drives the car, but the 12-volt system. Because everything from control modules, communication, infotainment, still depends on stable low voltage power. And when that system isn't working properly, you get warning, faults, and loss of functionality. Across all of these examples, the pattern is the same. The faults look complex, but the cause is simple: unstable or incorrect power, which means the real value isn't just knowing this happens, it's knowing how to check it properly before replacing anything. So instead of jumping straight to replacing parts, here's the right way to approach this. And it's much simpler than most people think. Step 1, get a battery health check. A healthy battery should be around 12.6 volts. If you're seeing anything down around 12.2 or lower, that's already a weak battery. And at that point, you can expect unstable behavior from the electronics. Step 2, make sure the battery health check includes checking the charging system. With the engine running, you should be seeing somewhere between 13.8 to about 14.5 volts. If it's lower than that, the alternator may be not charging properly. And this is important because a new battery won't fix a charging problem. If the alternator isn't doing its job, the issue will come straight back. Step 3, charge or replace the battery if needed, especially if the car isn't driven much or the battery is over 4 years old. A proper charge alone can sometimes stabilize the system and clear the faults. Step 4, reset or reboot the system. Once stable voltage is restored, a lot of these issues disappear because the system was never actually broken, it was just operating under poor conditions. And only after all of that do you start looking at the hardware, fuses, wiring, and control modules, not the other way around. And this is the key principle to take away from all of this. Battery first, always. Now the good news is, most of these is completely preventable. If you stay ahead of the battery, you avoid a majority of these issues. First, regular battery health checks. Not just whether the car starts, but actually voltage and condition. Once the battery gets past that 4 to 5 year mark, it's already on borrowed time. Second, driving habits matter more than people realize. Short journeys don't give the battery enough time to fully recharge. So even a good battery can slowly weaken if the car isn't being driven for longer durations. Third, use a charger if the car isn't used often. A simple trickle charger can keep the battery stable, especially through colder months. And that alone can prevent a lot of these issues from ever showing up. Fourth, basic physical checks. Make sure to look at the battery and check the terminals. Are they clean? Make sure the connections are tight, there's no corrosion. Small things, but they are all can affect how stable the voltage actually is. And finally, after replacing a battery on modern Volkswagen Group vehicles, make sure it's coded properly, because if it isn't, you can still end up with faults even with a brand new battery. So if it's not just about replacing parts, it's about doing it properly. So when you look at all of this together, a pattern starts to emerge. Most people see these faults and they go straight to replacing parts. New head units, software updates, control modules, treating the symptom, not the cause. But if you approach it properly, starting with power, starting with the battery, you avoid all of that. You diagnose it once, you fix the actual issue, and you don't waste time or money chasing the wrong problem. That's really the difference, not just knowing how to fix things, but knowing where to start. So if your Volkswagen or Audi infotainment system is playing up, freezing, rebooting, throwing warnings, don't assume it's broken. Start with the simplest, most common and most overlooked cause, your 12-volt battery, because in a lot of cases, that's the only fix you actually might need. But if you've checked your car battery or had it replaced and the issues are still there, the next step is understanding when the infotainment system itself is actually failing. In this video right here, I explain the early signs and what you can do about it. So check it out, click and watch that next.